going back to where the beach is near, the beer is dear, there's plenty of women on the crack. Walking
here we are in the final second, the whistle is gone, and Sligo Rovers are the champions.
By the riverside, you can watch the tide as it flows.
No, I'm being told that Average Joe's does not have enough players and will be forfeiting the championship match.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Very tight and drive it clean out over the fence. Out in there, he's the corner.
In the bookie shop, I done.
Okay, lads, we're back. A bit delayed. Roscoe, you had to put out your special rugby correspondence last year. An emergency broadcast from us almost.
An emergency broadcast, yeah. I just step in and steady the ship, Edo.
Yeah.
That's good stories, though. I enjoyed it now myself. I enjoyed listening.
They were very good, yeah. So, on the morning of 7th of June 2021, I was awoken at 7 a.m. with a sharp pain in my lower kind of groin, pelvic area.
Balls.
No, above it.
Lower groin.
My first thought was, shit, we have to do Mc Sharry tonight. But I was rushed to hospital in an ambulance with kidney stones. So we cancelled Marc Mc Sharry last week. But I'm all good. Stones haven't passed. Mc Sharry will come later in this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a crazy day for us. We were talking late last night, the jubilation of the big Mc Sharry scoop. Come 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the day.
I had no phone, yeah.
There was no sign of Adrian. Messages were exchanged between myself and Murty wondering what had happened to this rock star. I was, by chance, in the Strandhill Golf Club, or some security business, and I bumped into your sister who informed me that you'd been taken to the hospital in an ambulance. I was like, for fuck's sake, what about Mc Sharry? Like,
it was when I was getting sick, before I went in the ambulance, I was the only man on my mind. I was like, I can't let Mc Sharry down. I can't.
We got there in the end, though.
We did. Mac Attack. This is after we've recorded him, so we'll get to him later. This is the Sligo podcast, by the way. Ross, I'm going to go straight to you. A grovelling apology is needed to Ballissadare United Football Club.
Yeah, I didn't uphold myself to the values of the Sligo Way podcast yesterday. I'm not afraid to admit I was in the wrong.
Yeah,
so
that's the first step.
Basically, I went to the Ballissadare Carberry game yesterday. I was thrilled to see live sport. Really thrilled.
Yeah.
I noted that things weren't going too good for Ballissadare United. I made a tongue-in-cheek comment about perhaps the team had enjoyed pre-match sustenance from the new sponsor, the 5-1. And, for a couple of cheek likes?
E-likes.
E-likes, yeah. I put it up on the Twitter. 2 goals went in the space of 3 minutes, and I felt this tweet probably won't go down too well. So I deleted it. And then a couple of minutes later, a comment was put up to say that the 5-1 had sponsored him €1,000. So look, I felt pretty shit about it. I messaged the Ballissadare United page this morning saying, look, guys, I was just trying to have a bit of crack, and I actually really appreciate the 5-1. We've been frequent.
You're a big fan of the 5-1.
Yeah, they were the pizzas we got the night of our Christmas party were sensational.
Oh, yeah.
There was about 60 inches of pizza tucked away that night. I don't know where they went.
McHugh now had a few slices.
The garlic
I went
dip.
to have a slice of pizza by 11 o'clock.
The gallon of garlic dip.
Yeah.
So just that kind of upset me a bit to think that the 5-1, a place I do value, felt that I was having a cheap pop at them. But listen, I apologised. All is good. Cartron are playing Ballissadare in a couple of weeks, Mert, I believe. So we might do a little bit of a feature there, and Indy in the 5-1.
What are you saying? We recorded from the 5-1?
No, I'm just trying to say sorry, but we'll do some sort of a twist there that day.
Look, the 5-1 don't have to worry about our custom. It'll always come. Great spot out in Ballissadare. No, Ross, that's a nice apology, because you really fucked up. You're on your last legs.
Good man.
But we all finally got our fix of live sport, I suppose, didn't we, over the weekend? I was at Strand Celtic MCR in the morning a bit, and then I went out to Killara Division 4 game with Eastern Harps. Where the great referee, you were there yourself, where the great referee Kieran O'Donnell made his triumphant return from I don't know where. Shorts higher than his ditties. Oh, they're an outrageous pair. Where did they go?
Oh, it was great entertainment. You missed the random shouts like from players and everything, and
He said to our junior manager before the game, he asked him, do you need umpires and linesmen? He goes, oh no, I don't use them for club games. He's not doing county games, so he doesn't use them at all. There was a few. No,
There was a few points that
there
there
was
was.
a few points. Give Ross Donovan a shout. He gained 2 points for them in the first half by shouting "lovely point." And one time he shouted, "That's a point and a half," and the ref threw the hand up. It was 3 foot wide. No, we got one in the second half that was ridiculous as well.
That's why he didn't give it. Then he had confirmed on the sideline and just decided to put it up.
Who won?
Harris won by 4. He's a danger. And I'll go in further into him. But Marty, you were out in Riverstown, were you?
I was out, I had the pleasure of driving out to Riverstown in the morning. A little bit chucked now, mind you, but we had a nice win out in Riverstown. 2-0, lovely morning out there, plenty of walkers. Just good to be back at football.
That's
Glad to be back.
I went for a meal Saturday
I was
night.
going to ask you, any big eat over the weekend?
Now that we got the sport out of the way, let's get down to brass tacks here. What we're really about. I went to Walker 1781. Yeah, with
Fun then.
Yeah.
it was lovely. It was lovely. Now I got the slow cooked beef, some chicken wings, a little bit of garlic bread. Now it was shared myself and Marie, and I was there with Owen McEwen and young Luke McEwen, Lydia. We had a lovely meal.
Lovely. Jeez, I didn't know you were there with Owen and Lydia.
No invite. It was
I must have been away that day. Right.
I actually had.
Wow. Just cut this short. Sorry, Mike, go on.
I actually, on the way to Riverstown yesterday morning, I was a few minutes late for the start of the Cartridge match, but I had my first breakfast McMuffin. First one I've ever had.
Never had a sausage McMuffin.
I had a double sausage, egg, bacon,
Right.
and a hash brown on the side.
Don't think we've gone that far into
An
it.
absolute taste sensation.
Sausage McMuffin.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
one
hash
of
browns, like.
Yeah, they're very
Oh,
good.
the hash browns
Yeah.
are amazing. I've been promised that they were great, and they
Yeah,
were very good.
no, McDonald's breakfast.
Such an unsung hero, the hash brown, isn't it?
But before hitting the road for day 2 yesterday, then I stopped at Hooked on the way to Kennedy's and had a lobster sandwich. Which
The boom is back.
that's what we were saying. Yeah. We actually said it all last night. The boom is back. Now this was a taste sensation, absolute, amazing.
shredded kind of lobster.
It was kind of shredded lobster in this soft kind of soft
brioche
roll,
bun, I would presume.
soft roll, bit of Mary Rose sauce,
Oh my God.
a hint of garlic butter on the bread.
Do you know what was unreal Saturday night when you would have been walking around Rockwood Parade? The nice weather, all the deck chairs out, all the umbrellas. It was like a different country, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it looks class down there. Even last night, actually, the weather turned yesterday evening. But if you walk down Rockwood, it just looks like you're in.
It was class, wasn't it?
Portugal or somewhere. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Any
that's our no,
good eats?
nothing at all. Nothing big.
No takeaways?
I had no takeaway in weeks, Ross. Long time. An odd sandwich here and then.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, just cutting down. I've actually tried to have another one in weeks. Straight in hospital. How could I?
You just talk to us for the hospital food. A new section.
The hospital corner. What was I on? I was on toast for a long time because they didn't know that I'd go for surgery, so they couldn't really give me. And then, what did I have for breakfast? Oh, porridge. And this guy beside me kept asking, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Sorry, yeah. He did. Asking nurse, what kind of porridge is that? I like that now. I'll get that when I go home. And oddlums. So then the toast, right? What kind of bread is that? I love that now. I'll get that. And she's like, this can't figure it. And then for the tea came around at 12:30 or whatever, and there were chicken goujons. Jeez, them goujons are lovely. Will you get me the name of that? I'm going to get them when I get out. He's going to.
They're probably industrial.
Yeah, no worry. Yeah. But that was my food review, lads. Okay, the Hitler video kind of took off. Marc Mc Sharry, slip of the tongue.
Yeah.
Marc Mc Sharry, Sligo, Strandhill Bollard Gate, Hitler video last week,
I
lads.
feel like it was a bit of a pressure valve for the people. Let them vent a little bit. And
Yeah. Some people who didn't even get it loved it.
Yeah.
So there's a few.
It actually went very well on the Strandhill notice board. It was well received, but I think that was tongue in cheek. Was it?
No, they loved it, and we were saluting them.
Yeah.
No, it went well, and the man himself liked it. So that was kind of put out in the build-up to our supposed interview last week. But we had him in today. How do you think it went?
We didn't really know what to expect, did we?
No. And there is a few little political bits, but look, he's...
We're not going to start our own Sligo Way Pod political party now after this.
He is still a sitting TD, so...
It could be the last time we talk politics on the show.
Yeah, okay. Will we let everyone hear the Mac Attack?
Mac Attack.
Right, here we go.
Whoa, Mc Sharry, you know how to believe it's not Leo. It's Mc Sharry, you know how to believe it's not Leo. Oh,
Yo! Okay, lads, welcome to, it's episode 3.0. 3.0. Season 2. Due last week, but there was a trip to the hospital. TD Marc Mc Sharry's here with us. Mark, you're very welcome.
How was the crack?
Good, good. Your first TD on the show, Mark. We've had an Olympic swimmer, a jockey, ex-professional footballer, and now
No TD.
now a TD.
Next lodge
You
was
weren't.
set.
You were never an Olympian, no?
I was never Olympic.
All right, okay. Just crossed it off my list. Sorry, it's my fault last week, Mark. People thought you let us down.
No, it's okay, yeah. No, I love the way you let it linger there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was reading that.
We let people form an opinion, yeah.
It was like I welched, but I wouldn't welch on you.
I was laid low with the kidney stones, and geez, it was bad. Did you ever have kidney stones, Mark?
I never did, but I heard it's very painful.
Yeah, worse than childbirth, I believe.
Did they get well? I don't know about that.
It's all the women out there. But they haven't passed through yet, if you're wondering. But sure, look, we'll get into that later.
And how did it? What treatment did they give you?
A lot of medication. Yeah.
Yeah?
I was in overnight, and morphine didn't.
To give you medication to break them down, like, so you can.
Tried a bit, yeah,
pass
but
them.
they gave me 2 doses of morphine that done nothing for the pain. Then Dr. Ken had to bend me over. And
How do you know that you'll have passed them? How do you know that you'll have passed it?
I'll come straight out.
Like a stone.
Yeah. I don't know, is it like a pebble? I don't know, is it a clump of salt, I believe.
It's like in Friends. Joey had them in Friends.
Did he, yeah?
They presented to him after, yeah.
Right.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
We can
so.
give that instead of the pair of jocks. We
So
can
we
give you our
can-
stones going for the
You
person of
can
the
post pictures of them after the fact. Yeah.
But great. Thanks to all the nurses up there, Mark.
And you brought your underpants along from
Did,
the
yeah.
sea.
They're the soil
I see
there.
tonight. Lovely with the logo and everything on the front of them.
We'll have you on them later, Mark. Come here, I suppose we're a sports powercast first of all, are we, lads?
I suppose so, yeah. Sports
First and
entertainment.
foremost, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mark, I'm going to put you on the question spot straight away. What's your first Sligo sporting memory?
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I should have told you
Probably
beforehand.
very young. The flags going up at the front of every house, and certainly our house in 1975 for the Connacht.
To Gaelic.
And I was only about 3-ish.
Yeah?
That's the earliest one.
Yeah.
And then I suppose the big one that stands out then is 1983. You know.
Rovers.
I would have been there at that, yeah. Like a lot of us. So that was a great day.
That's good, yeah.
Tony and Harry McLaughlin.
Boy, you've got memory to remember the 75 final. The
No,
flags going
I
up.
don't remember. I don't remember the game.
I mean the flags,
I remember
yeah,
the
no,
flag
no,
going up
still,
in our
yeah,
garden,
yeah.
and I remember
You knew there was
wondering,
something going on.
what's this about?
Yeah.
And that's obviously what it was. So that'll be the first kind of Sligo sporting, but I don't remember the game. No.
Do you have a favourite one? Memory, Sligo sporting of all your years? It's hard to pick.
It's got to be 83, you know.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah, that was unbelievable. And I suppose if you were picking another Sligo one after that, it would have been Tommy Brady managing to win the Connacht final,
2007.
and then
They were the good times.
Probably also the good run that we had through the back door, come back against Tyrone.
Ah, yeah.
And draw 'em at Armagh, who went on then to win the All Ireland. I mean, they were the glorious
It's
in
the
the
one that
GS
got
side.
away, isn't it? Everyone's still the
And
lads.
the 5 penalty saves in the Aviva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good ones, isn't there?
Of course, Calera, your own outstanding performance.
Yeah, Mark, it's going to you promised Barry O'Mahony a sponsorship last year, and there's no sign of it yet.
Very many.
Yeah.
How's his
Well, I know
hair?
you sent him. I know you sent his hair. I know you sent him to Turkey to get his hair done.
I haven't seen him in ages. I mean,
He's up in Ballysadare now. He's gone from us. Yeah, loved up in Ballysadare.
and he's playing. No, he's still
Oh, he's playing, yeah. Captain this year.
for Calera.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's all right. like. But I mean, Calera did win the county championship.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
2005. Were you in Strandhill at that time?
I was socialising. at
Yeah.
Socialising.
I ended up in hospital that night as well. I suppose 83, 94 was our 83, wouldn't it have been?
94 was our 83, yeah. And then I suppose we were, 8 or 9 in 94. Yeah, I was 8 in 94.
I remember that's my first, that year is my first memory to
Yeah,
Rovers.
2009 was probably, 2010 was the first one you'd probably really celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't on the bear now at 8, but they are.
Missed out in a few years.
But 94 would stand out because we won the Shield and we won the League.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we won the,
Willie McStay and the boys.
the Cup as well. Like, yeah.
It's the first year of floodlights as well.
Yeah, first year of the floodlights. Kilkenny City, I think the game was.
Was it?
I think. Wow.
Fact check that.
Fact check that. Well, you fact checked me about Jack B. Yates the other day.
Yeah. Mark, we have a bowl of Eskimo mints there for you. Go away. Very good. We always
you
take
for
care
the
of our
mint.
guests.
Yeah, this is the usual professional setup we have, except for this microphone stand here, which is some sort of a folder.
Looks very flash.
It does, yeah. It's actually a folder. But I'd say it's sell that in IKEA somewhere, like nearly. Come here, Ross has been on the phone to you.
Yes.
He's a good liaison officer, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I reached out to their emailed Facebook.
He's kind of the player manager, producer, presenter.
I can keep a rapping these fellas here. It's not easy.
No, I suppose it was a few weeks ago when we first contacted you because it was the time of you made a statement with the Rovers and the fans coming in. I know it's kind of gone a bit out of date now when fans have been allowed back since, but
Well, 100 have been allowed back.
well, no, I know that, but you're making the point that the test venues. I mean, like the Shams had 3 games. And,
Oh no, yeah,
and Rovers only 1.
Like I have no doubt that, in fairness to whatever officials in the Department of Sport probably said, look, they probably rang the League of Ireland and said, look, give us 5 or 6 games as test events that we'll try and let in a certain amount. We'll see how they go and all the rest of them. And Shams got 2 games.
3 actually.
3
down.
down, I think.
They had 3 down, yeah.
All right, so I have a problem with that, like, because I'm a Rover supporter and I don't mind so long as everybody gets equal discrimination. Do you know what I mean? Positive or negative. So, Noel Byrne is the chairman of the league, and Noel Byrne will be the secretary of Shamrock Rovers.
Right.
And Mark Scanlon is the director of the league, and he's a well-known Shamrock Rovers supporter. So these are the guys who were probably asked, give us a list of games. And I have no problem, Shamrock Rovers, of course, getting 1 game, and why couldn't we get a game? And
Cork got a game.
and it's not like their first game, Finn Harps, it wasn't as if 500 of the 1,000 are allowed come from Ballybuffet or Shout to Me Gall or wherever, like, you know what I mean? So I fought that case, and then they told us we could have 100 for every game, for every sporting occasion, and that includes Clara playing Malash Gales. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
so my view was, okay, on the big European days with the makeshift stand put in at the Rose Hill into the ground, 6,000, so 10%, give us 600, and you know yourself, you'll easily spread it out. So that's where I was coming from. Needless to say, they didn't listen to me, so.
I was going to say, did they listen to you? Because they let fans in a few days later.
Well, the 100's a big difference now even. So we had a junior soccer match yesterday for Cartridge United, but it's a big difference to be able to not have to worry. Because in one of the lockdowns, we played a cup final last year in the middle of August that we had to play behind closed doors. Yeah. We couldn't even have, at the time it was 200, and we had sold 200 tickets for the game. And then I had to go behind closed doors. But I was in the showgrounds last year, and I think I said it on the show here before. I was in the showgrounds last year for the Rovers Bows game, and there was 200 allowed at that. But you'd have 2,000 there, no problem, socially distant.
Of course you would.
You know?
And
Look,
I mean, the whole COVID management thing, I mean, I think, you know, we went a particular route where it was like full lockdown and hope for a vaccine. And, you know, I think it could have been done a little bit different. You know, I think we could have allowed certain things. I think, you know, I'll be publishing in a few weeks a document, a research paper I did on the impacts of COVID on our mental health, particularly young people's mental health, and it was significant. And I think our strategy to COVID management was one-dimensional. It was physical health, and of course, I'm not a COVID denier. I mean, it was terrible. People lost their lives, and you can never replace, you know, lost loved ones or whatever. But at the same time, I think that when it came to sport at every level, you know, we were short-sighted, not making sure that we allowed it to continue. You know?
Yeah, massively. Everyone chatted to was definitely affected. Like,
Well,
texting lads our own age who usually wouldn't talk, say shite. You'd only be chatting to each other if you're messing about something, like. But like fellas just dying to chat each other and get back playing sport. Like it's so much more than winning. Nearly, it's a social. It is such a social.
Even just being able to see people again. That was kind of the main.
And that was it. Particularly young people too. Like, I'm 47 and 11/12ths, so nearly 48.
Next birthday's on the way.
That's it.
12th of July, Mark. Will you head up north for that?
I won't. No, I won't. But in fairness to them, now they mark it in a particular way.
They're not celebrating your birthday, are they?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's something to do with the Battle of the Boyne.
All right, sorry.
But as a 47 and 11/12-year-old, a week or a month or even a year at this age is not a long time.
Yeah, I got you.
But at 15, it's an eternity. At 19, it's still a long time. Do you know what I mean? And to be locked down for kind of a year and a half. And look, the WHO, their advice on lockdowns was, look, short, swift, to allow you to build capacities and things like that. That's what lockdown should be used for. And certainly I'll always regret that we went, you know, the partial to full lockdown approach for all of things. And that took a huge effect on, you know, there's a worry too that a certain age group will leave sport altogether Do you know what I mean?
Very
That if
true, yeah.
you're at a critical stage.
I know of a few
you know
who
what I
have
mean?
at 16s. I'm involved.
16, 17,
Yeah.
15. Will they go back to sport, you know?
It's hard enough to keep them engaged at that level before COVID.
No, it is, of course. Like, and so you'd worry, you know, about that because sport has everything to do with mental health. And whether you're playing on the fifths or the championship side, it doesn't matter, you know.
I suppose I was kind of, well, my next question was, and this is not even with a pandemic in play, but in the Dáil, right? You know, if your healthcare, whatever, the main things. But how important is sport in the Dáil? Like, is it discussed behind closed doors? Like, it is well known. I know you're touching it there that sport is crucial to this country, really, isn't it?
Oh no, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And this isn't talking. This is just say there was no. Just say there was never a pandemic.
Well, you can do
Yeah.
so much, like you
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
so
yeah.
much. Well, you were asking me my favourite Sligo sporting moment,
Yeah.
and I neglected to say, and I was very involved in it, was hosting the World Rally Championship
Very good.
I forgot about that.
in
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And I mean, from a political perspective, I mean, I was the key promoter of it, and they thanked me for it afterwards, and all the rest. We had it in 2007 to 2009, and if it wasn't for a little bit of egos and messing, we would have had that every year.
Really?
It could have been the Olympics for this part of the country. And whether you're a motorsport fan or not,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sure, I remember
this
the
was
town.
something that was going
Oh,
to be
it's massive.
available.
Yeah.
Subaru jackets
Kind
everywhere.
of January, February, the down months of the year.
Yeah.
They weren't coming in July when you're packed anyway.
Yeah,
do you know?
You
So
reckon
the
that would have been
next
around? That would have been a yearly thing. So if we played,
It could have
played
been
it right.
It could have
Haven't
been.
even
Yeah.
come back to Ireland since. have they?
In 2007, no, they're hoping to bring it to Ulster next year, but that will be Rally GB
Okay, yeah.
as opposed to Rally Ireland was Hands Across the Divide was the theme of it in 2007. So you had in a post-conflict scenario both sides working together to jointly host an event, and it was the first time the FIA, who were the heads of Vision O, Formula One, and World Rallying and all motorsport, went away from say the big car markets. You know, like they go to France and they go to Germany, or the United States, and they involve themselves. So, and that just shows the soft power that sport can do, that it can influence political things and can be used to help political situations, you know. But in sport, I was the spokesman in sport for a short period in the run into the last election. So that was interesting. And then there is a sports committee. But look, sadly, I always feel it's kind of buried in a ministry.
Do you think now they've diluted the ministry of it now?
Further diluted it now. It's like Catherine Martin is the Minister
Tourism, sport, arts, is
for
it?
everything, nearly. It's media and tourism and sport and communications and
It's too big of a thing and crucial.
a number of different things. Now, Jack Chambers has responsibility for it, but he's also the chief whip, which is like a full-time job on its own, you know. So,
Jack likes a bit of League of Ireland as well, does he? He's bit.
well, Bowes would be his local club. No, I don't know whether
Everyone's in the Bows these days. I think it's the
a
hipster thing to
regular,
do, is it?
a
Yeah.
regular of an attender that he'd be. But he has big roots in Mayo as well. His father was originally Mayo, so I'd say there's a bit of a GA gene there, you know.
And do you think, like, would you be of the opinion now there should be just a minister of sport? That should be its own position.
Yeah, definitely. Now,
It seems
under the
crazy.
Constitution,
Can we lobby for you?
under the Constitution, no.
We'll poll for you.
under the Constitution, there can only be 15 ministers, right? 15 full ministers.
Okay.
And the way the world has gone, I mean, the Constitution was written in the 30s, right? So, like, the world has moved on a bit since then. There's probably a need for more ministers. I don't want people giving out, oh, God, I've been paid enough and all the rest of it. But, you know, sport is a very, very important thing.
Jesus Christ.
Mental health, disability, very, very important things. And they're kind of, you know, they're given kind of junior ministries or they're put in with a lot of stuff. And, you know, climate change should be a full ministry on its own. Like, there was no talk of climate change in the 1930s. So there's probably a need for maybe 20 full ministries.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that you can include a broader range of disciplines that are much more important in the 21st century than they were foreseen to be in obviously the 1930s when the Constitution was written.
And while we're on, sorry, I know you have a question.
No, I don't.
While we're on about
finished.
Seeing the Rovers development.
Yeah,
Now that's obviously going to need a good bit of capital funding.
absolutely.
An awful lot. Yeah.
And how would something like that get received now at a government level when a club like, say, Sligo Rovers puts out
Oh
something
yeah,
like
I
that?
mean, they probably laugh at it in terms of the officials and departments. Like Sport Ireland have an awful lot to do with sports funding in Ireland. I'm not happy about that. You know, I prefer it to be brought back in under, like, you're electing people, you expect them to have control, and they don't, right? If they abuse that control, put them in jail or whatever. But in terms of larger projects like that, where it'll be, there's a sports capital program every year, and that's if Clare Strand Hill or building. I'm not going to comment on that. So it'll be a relatively smaller thing, 5,000, 10,000, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe up to 70, like for a development of a club or something like that. But then there's the regional sports capital fund. Now, there hasn't been a new one of them for several years, but they would give things like 350, 400, 500,000. Maybe even $1 million or whatever. So it's something that you'd have to fund over a long period of time. But there's other schemes as well that we can look into. The important thing is, for that development at the moment, is we need about $1 million now to get the design done, the detailed design done. If you have a detailed design, you can go for planning. Then you have something to work with. And then if it's something that can be done, we'll do this bit this year, that bit the other, maybe over a 5 to 10 year period we'll get it done. I know the target's 2028, whether we achieve it or not, but I think everybody has bought into it. Costs about 10 million. There's a commercial aspect to it too,
Yeah.
So
Well, the plans look unreal.
It's brilliant.
yeah, but they did the right thing too. Spoke to the rugby lads, spoke to Connacht Rugby. For example, do they want to be going all the way to Belfast or bringing Ulster all the way to Galway?
Yeah.
Could it be played there? Is 5,000 or 6,000 enough? And then you're in the game for an awful lot of ladies internationals, underage internationals, junior internationals, stuff like that on the soccer side. Maybe on the Gaelic football side too. They could put certain games there as opposed to putting them in Markievicz Park, and it is great. And we're very lucky with the board that are there.
Tommy
Higgins, is a superstar from the world of entertainment and business, not just nationally but internationally.
Yeah.
And the irony is he has such a core background in soccer as well. I remember.
Perfect fit for them.
I remember Tommy as a linesman and a referee.
I actually know that,
in the showgrounds.
No, it's class. It'd be great to.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's not since there was a few random fundraising ideas for it. There was a man suggesting we sell Carvery dinners up. Carvery dinners up there. I don't know how many dinners you want to sell to make 20.
Actually, that was a question in. We're looking to bring Carvery dinners back, Mark. You can't get a good Carvery in town. Lions is the only place in Carvery in town that does a Carvery.
But you can't have it anywhere at the moment, anyway.
Well, that's good. There's a big Carvery crowd in town. You want to see them with the messages we get about it.
No, but look, I live on my own, so I'm a real Carvery man.
Aren't we all?
That guy from Dundalk was right. Convinced you, he was right.
Carvery is the thing of the country. Yeah, everyone knows Carvery. Come here, I'm going to throw back a bit. Right, you went to Castleknock College.
I did.
That's a rugby school, is it?
Rugby, yeah.
Did you have to play rugby there? Everyone has to play it first year, is it?
Yeah, you wanted it anyway. That was the sport that did it. And then all the rugby schools at a Gaelic football championship at the end of the rugby season.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you played rugby up there?
I did.
What position?
Centre.
Oh, what do you reckon?
You never talked out for the club, did you?
Here, no. No, I didn't. But I wasn't first team material. I think on the junior cup team I was sub on the cup team, and in seniors I was captain of the seconds.
All right.
So I never would.
That's not bad.
Did you have a nickname on you up there, no?
The Sligo men, there was a nickname on me, not that I know. You have to ask Peter Mullen.
Was he in Castleknock?
Was in my class in Castleknock, and he was the captain of the senior team.
Yeah, Gaelic footballer as well, St Mary's.
He was, absolutely.
Jeez, I didn't know that at all.
Didn't know that.
Ross, you should have been on that one.
Sorry, I let the team down there.
Yeah.
And there's also the Wells from Sligo, Ronan Adaraja, now deceased, sadly. He was in our class. There was a fellow called Matty Clark.
All from Sligo, yeah?
Yeah. John Sweeney, and the year ahead of me.
Why didn't we go there?
Random there.
Why did we go there?
Well, the reason I was sent there was because
Your dad was quite up in Dublin a lot, was he?
my father, well, they were in Dublin a lot, all right, but the three boys were sent there because I wanted to go to Summerhill, like all my boys wanted to go to Summerhill, and my grandfather on my mother's side and some of her brothers were there, and they all ended up solicitors, and the old fella thought, they'll get a good education there now, I'll send them there, and he'd be a solicitor. But little did he know, they ended up following the same steps. So that was the reason that I ended up there. But it was rugby, yeah.
And did you always want to be a politician? Or when did you know you were going to become a politician?
You're kind of introduced to it early on because the outfit had been involved in it, and you're involved in young Fianna Fáil, and the razzmatazz around elections is interesting. But how I ended up in it wasn't... it didn't look like I was going that route at all. I mean, I was in business and
You're a estate agent, what do you make?
No, I was exporting beef. That's what it was.
Wikipedia's wrong, so.
And
someone edited that wrong.
Actually, Wikipedia, yeah. Do you know the way you can edit that?
I know. You want to see what we put in about you?
Oh, but there's some guy who's must really love me. He's editing it the whole time. I haven't checked it now in a good few months. I was an estate agent for a short time in parallel. I mean, to being in the Senate, but no, it was mainly exporting Irish beef.
Yeah,
that's what I did before.
It's an interesting
before
one.
Politics. Yeah,
a lot of connections with that. So, you weren't done for smuggling garlic or anything, no?
No smuggling at all. All above board.
What have you got, lads? There's a few questions come in. We'll go to them later, will we?
We'll go to them a bit, yeah.
So politics was always a thing, yeah. With
it was always, you were always kind of involved, but I ended up running for the Senate as a result of me working for Sligo Chamber of Commerce. That's how that happened.
You were only 26, 27 then, were you? Like 2002-ish?
In 2002, I was 28 during the campaign, and the count, I was just turned 29. Yeah.
You were a long time in the Senate.
14 years.
Yeah. I'm not really political at all. I just say it out.
No, I know you. I'd never have guessed. Like
no, quite. But I give it or take it. But you can't win, can you, in politics? Like no one comes out. Someone's gonna fucking hate you or love you kind of time thing, is it?
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's not a popularity contest.
I know it's not. I know it's not. It exactly is. Sorry, yeah.
If it's popularity, like
I got very into the last local elections actually.
Well, certainly the way that I do my business. I mean, like I if I feel something is wrong, I'll go after it. If I want to try and change something, I'll try and go after it. And that gets me into a lot of trouble for the way I do that at times and the way I say things. And look,
I wasn't even pointing out you in general. I think it's politics in general. Like, it wasn't specifically.
Oh, no, it's different. Do you know what I mean? Like the perception is that all politicians are on the make and they do nothing, and that's not true, frankly. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what party or no party or independence or whatever, the vast majority are in it for the right reasons and they're doing the very best they can. And what divides us politically is how we do it, you know.
You met a big Sinn Féin man last night who was...
Oh, very complimentary about you, yeah. He'd be a local Sinn Féin member, but he was very complimentary about you, speaking your word. We might get that voice clip in there somewhere along the way.
He sent in a voice clip to us last night.
Oh, did he? Yeah,
huge respect.
Yeah.
Doesn't agree with you though on some things.
No, he said you wouldn't be politically aligned now, but he said that...
But we never, like, you know, who agrees with everybody
on
everything?
That's life, isn't it?
You know, whether it's a group of friends. So you do the best you can and some things work out. Most of the time it won't. I mean, for every 10 people that you're trying to assist with something, I mean, one will work out satisfactorily. You know, it's just the way... That's the way of the world, you know.
Right, Mark, give us your Dail five-a-side soccer team.
Oh.
Putting you on the spot. We should have sent the questions.
Well, funny enough, I've never played on any of them.
Did he actually meet up and have...
But the Dail have in the past had rugby teams, Gaelic football teams, and soccer teams. And I think there was a cricket team. Now, that's not my bag, but...
You know who's playing for them anyway.
But for example, now, before I was in there, I mean, there was a Parliamentarians Rugby World Cup. Yeah. And off they used to head with a team, like. And what they used to do...
Boris Johnson on the wing.
It's a true story. It was in the 90s, like, it was before I was in there. But they would get a guy, and I lived in Carlow many years ago, involved in the meat business, and I did a little bit of coaching in Carlow Rugby Club. But one of the senior coaches there used to... he trained the Oireachtas rugby team. They went to South Africa to compete in the World Cup, right? And apparently, so you have TDs and senators and all playing on this team. It's during their holiday time.
Piss up, surely.
And,
they're allowed to have definitely during their holiday time.
They're allowed to have former internationals on the team, right? This is the truth. So down there in South Africa, this is in the mid-90s, Ireland were playing Wales. And Wales had their Welsh MPs or whatever playing, and Ireland had, among the TDs playing, was Jimmy Deanahan, who won All Ireland's for Kerry, right? So he was playing in the centre. And one of the guys that Wales had playing in the centre was JPR Williams, who still played in his 50s. And famously, Jimmy Deanahan, the Fine Gael TD, and All Ireland went over Kerry, clotheslined him in a tackle. I went over to him and said, that one's for Mike Gibson. Because apparently in some 1970s Wales-Ireland game, JPR Williams clotheslined Mike Gibson, the Irish out half.
That's a great story. I actually know there was like...
There was, and there was soccer teams as well. I remember different teams that would be playing, but I never participated in it. I wouldn't know who'd be any good.
That's what I'm saying. I was only asking out of the current TDs
at soccer. I don't know. I'd probably...
The House is getting a bit younger now, though.
Who?
The House in general, do you know? Politicians getting a bit younger now.
Yes. I mean, I'd say it's still...
Brad Karen goals, anyways.
It's still not young enough. And obviously we got a real problem with equality of representation with not enough women, you know.
Yeah.
That's what Neil Martin in goals, actually, sorry, because his son plays in goals for Cork.
He does, and Nemo Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's our goalie. Martin must have a bit of must have a bit in him.
Yeah.
I'm gone
And
then,
his
lads.
father was a famous boxer in Cork City, called a Champ. That's what he was called. He was a bus conductor.
Champ Martin.
Strand Hill the other week, Bollard Gate.
Bollard's Gate, yes. It was kind of a throwaway remark in the Dáil, but as part of
Well, we ran with it anyways.
no, I saw the podcast. Yeah, it was or the videos and things. They were funny.
Adolf Hitler.
It was a speech about 4 billion in a recovery fund, and I was talking about the need for policy alignment, so that if we're doing things, you can't say you're looking to build houses when you have so many policies that aren't conducive or aren't supportive of building houses and so like that. So that was kind of 2/3 of the speech. And the last third was, here we are now reopening, but you're not fully reopened. It's great that you're making this money available. And we still have our policies unaligned, where the week we had, the previous weekend, the chief medical officer effectively angrily tweeting that he saw people
When he drove into town, yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
what we told them to do, which was, socialise outdoors, have an outdoor summer or whatever. And, the issue was you can't have it both ways. I said it was happening in Dublin, it happened in Galway and Spanish Arch, and then I gave the example of Strand Hill, where, do you know how the Bollards
We
are?
live in Strand Hill, like two of us. Like it's
I know.
it's causing havoc. The ball. People are just parking the other side of them then.
Yeah. I drove down there a couple of weeks
Well,
ago.
look, in fairness, you're not, I doubt you ever parked on the seafront, and I rarely probably park on the seafront.
I'm lazy as fuck. I drive down like.
But
I know, I know.
elderly people
I know,
pull in
yeah,
there
yeah,
with their
yeah.
paper and an ice
Yeah,
cream,
and
and they
ice
might get a
cream.
cup of coffee or a cup of
100%,
tea
yeah.
or something. That's it. And it's just ridiculous.
My own father does. He goes down there.
It's
And
just
he can sit for an hour. No, seriously, he can sit for an hour to listen to the radio in the Jeep, and
I drove out
he
there-
loves. It is. It's
I drove out
ridiculous.
there a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock on a Sunday. I said I'd never go back.
Yeah. It was a Sunday
Just
after you.
park.
It was a Sunday after you said it.
Just people just parked on both sides.
Yeah, it was crazy. You weren't getting through like it's.
The other thing that emerged the next day after the speech, it was a Thursday morning. I was
Benchgate.
the bench.
I was getting
I was
his
at
treatment.
I was at the Public Accounts Committee, and a man who owns an apartment and lives in an apartment in Strand Hill sent me the picture of the bench.
Right.
I'm in the middle of a public house meeting, and he says, "What on God's name is going on in Strand Hill?" So I said, "Well, fair enough." I tweeted that out saying, "Seriously, is this true?" And I contacted the county manager in Sligo via text, and he came back to me and he said, "No, we're painting them today." And I then tweeted the update 46 minutes later.
Too late, Mark, on Twitter.
They're going viral. Have you
I was
ever-
at a meeting, and that was as quick as the answer came. So I was, I contacted the council in disbelief, but I was very pleasantly relieved to learn that they were just painting them.
It must be hard when you say things and take a break and go, fuck, that's just going to go viral now, what I've just said. What is it, a worry, or you just...
I wasn't really. I don't tweet a huge amount. I use Facebook a lot more than any other form of. I might tweet maybe on average about once a month. There might be a couple of tweets in a month, and but look, like Twitter and everyone, all these heroes with their pseudonyms, Mickey Mouse 5622,
Willie Rogers.
pontificating about right and wrong and all the rest of it. I mean, it's an abuse fest. I don't read the comments
That's why
because
it is. I don't like.
it had
Facebook,
sapped
Twitter,
the morale
Twitter's
out of
very
anybody.
good.
Like, Facebook's a bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Facebook
Facebook is someone losing a cat in Derry and someone in fucking England sharing it. liked and shared here.
Dog missing in Nebraska or somewhere.
yeah. But Twitter is
It's
just.
all in, though, isn't it?
It's all in. You don't want no feelings on Twitter. I'm just laughing at someone. Sorry, I'm laughing at our own video, the Hitler video.
You enjoyed it anyway, you did.
Got a great
I
reaction.
didn't really know what it meant because a friend of mine, Barry Fox, who's from the town here, but he lives up in Meath now, texts me. He says, "You're famous. You have your own Hitler video." What's that about?
That can't be good.
Yeah, we put it up anyways, and then I was on a Zoom call, and I saw your number ringing on the phone. I was like, oh, shit. I was just going to go down. He's either going to like it or be absolutely furious, but
No,
thankfully
that's-
you were happy enough.
We had a few,
You're fair game in the political
a
world,
few subtle digs at the Strand Hill notice board on Facebook. That's an old free-for-all as well.
I didn't see that now.
No. You know the Strand Hill notice board on Facebook, the page.
yeah.
That's just we had a few digs at that in the video now. about avocado eaters, but we won't go further into that.
All right, I'm not. It's an in-joke then.
Yeah,
it's an in-joke.
exactly.
I'm not familiar with, yeah.
Lads, what have you got next?
There's a few questions in there.
There is, yeah. I was going to ask about the Dail Bar.
Know about it.
Is it missed?
Ask away. Only to the extent anybody else. Like, Dail Bar, there isn't really a drinking culture, but it's where you can go and have your lunch and your dinner and your,
There would have been, though, would
your
there?
quiet time. Not
Where
really,
you-
no.
no?
There's a visitors bar. So,
Really?
like, if people had guests in, or if tours were in, they would be there. They're having their day out. They'd enjoy it. But no, I don't recall a big drinking culture
So
in
that's
my
just
time there anyway.
all us normal people, we just hear these rumours and they all take legs that there's
Yeah,
massive...
there is a private space. It is a private space.
Yeah.
And you can't bring your wife, girlfriend, partner,
Really,
family, nobody into it. It's only a member or former members. They can relax. There's no to and fro. Like if you had a big row with somebody
Well, I was
inside,
gonna say,
inside
yeah.
a committee or in the house, that doesn't go on in there. And there's and it does have Sky Sports. So
It is. That was my
if
question,
there was a match on and there was voting until 12 o'clock, because every Wednesday night it all sits till 12 o'clock.
Champions League
theoretically.
sorted, so-
Some Wednesdays it doesn't. And if there was a game on, you want to take your time out and watch a game, they have Sky Sports. Yeah.
Was there a question on smoking fines? Was there?
And alcohol is not it's not subsidised or any of that type of stuff. Those rumours are out there.
Yeah.
It's-
We're just curious with the perks that go on. When I run for election in 2030, it's a long time away, yeah.
We'll get you 2025, yeah.
What do you
When
want
do you
to
reckon
ask?
the next election will be, Mark?
Well, I'd say we're not anxious to have one, and I wouldn't say anybody is, with COVID until it's totally out of the way, because there's a by-election going on in Dublin now at the moment. It's very strange. So there's no door-to-door canvassing. So they're out kind of walking up and down the street,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
seen, and maybe handing out a leaflet, but you can't go door-to-door because of COVID. So the next one is due to be in. So when did we had it? We had it in February 2020, so 5 years, February 2025. I'd say it'll be before then.
It'll hardly go to 5 now, yeah.
I'd say it'll be before then. Like, it's a three-party coalition. Look, elections are disruptive, you know. I mean, you effectively lose 6 months' focus when there's an election called, between lead-in and new crowd getting their feet under the table and all of that stuff, whoever they are. So I'd say it'll be before 2025, but not this year.
Right, as we get to the questions, will we?
Yeah, we've few in.
So these come in from your...
These are from
Listeners,
random followers now.
listeners, yeah.
There's a few kind of...
They're not political. And don't take them too seriously.
The first one in is from, it's an old friend of the show, Shady McGee. We always have to give the old shout out. So,
Yeah.
if Mark was to lead a bollard bashing armada to invade Sligo, which beaches would he attack first and why?
What beach would I attack first?
Where would be the easiest?
You can't go to Strand Hill because the
bollards
bollards
are
are up.
Soft touching Ross's point?
Dulmoran.
Oh, sneaky.
You
Unexpected.
duck in for a lovely bit to eat in the beach bar, in the beach bar in Ochra's Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Make your way across land.
Charge the batteries before battle begins. You know?
Before heading into Beltra. Then through Ballisadair
Be
then.
soft through Baltrap.
Good one.
Yeah.
You power through there in no time.
Mark, what's your wrestling knowledge like?
Zero.
Right, because someone...
I went once with
Did
my
you?
son.
Well, you
when
know, you know the general gist of it, so...
I do, and I don't understand how people like it.
Because Dylan Monaghan asked who would win a Dail Royal Rumble?
So the Royal Rumble is where
You
30
throw-
you throw
yeah.
a man over the top rope.
Last person
Last
standing.
person in standing wins.
Oh, who would
You can answer yourself now.
who would win? Who does? God,
Not necessarily the fittest man. It would be maybe the strongest or the biggest.
Yeah.
Cutest even.
Yeah?
Go under the ropes and come back.
good
again.
question.
sneakiest.
Sneakiest,
yeah.
definitely,
Sneakiest
yeah.
I do, yeah.
Oh, sure. Mary Lou would win.
Very good. Roscoe, you're up.
I sent you a couple of pictures earlier, Mark.
Oh, do you?
I did, yeah. You asked me what kind of questions am I getting later
Oh
on.
no, hold on. Right, I'll have to go into my phone here now. 1 second.
Yeah. And if you can just name...
Is
the
it on
three-
WhatsApp? Yeah.
It's on WhatsApp, yeah. And if you can just name the 3 people that there were pictures sent of.
What is it? It's from Clodagh Devani asked.
All the wrestlers.
No.
No, she asked.
Oh, no, I
Clodagh
see,
Devani asked, who would you snog, marry, and what is it?
Kiss, marry, and avoid. And there's 3 people in there, so you have to choose.
What are the options there, Ross?
In fairness, now, and I have no problem having the crack, right? But it's not fair to the individuals.
Okay,
all right,
fair enough.
for me to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Because they're real people. Like if there were
Wrestlers.
celebrities in America or something.
Sorry, Clodagh.
People can just speculate. We'll
Clodagh
move
can
on.
ring me private if she wants.
That's fair enough.
Right. What do we, there's another few there, is there? Kieran Stafford, the one on Twitter.
I didn't see his one. What is
It's
it?
in the private message on Twitter. Have you got any more, Mert?
I think that's about it from
Yeah,
the actual Twitter ones.
If we can get Stafford's one now, we'll wrap
That's it then, yeah. And then we finish with our usual rapid fire questions.
Excellent.
There's rapid fire buzz around now.
Oh, geez, I have it here now from Kieran Stafford. Hi all, long-time listener, first-time caller with a question for Marcus Mc Sharry. TD Mc Sharry Senior Ray famously served as Taoiseach under Taoiseach Charles Haughey. TD Mc Sharry Jr. Mark currently serves under Taoiseach Micheál. Who was the better Taoiseach and who was the better pint man? And which accolade is more important for the leader of this country? Regards, Ed Wynne Poots. That's a joke. That's Kieran Stafford.
So what's the asking?
Edwin Poots.
He's asking who was the better Taoiseach.
I met him once. Look, I was a great fan of Charlie High's. I'd never condone the taking of money and the tax evasion, not one bit. But he had great leadership qualities. But look, there were Taoiseachs at totally different times. You know, I mean, Micheál Martin is a leader. Obviously, it's very well known we don't see eye to eye. But he does his best, and I just would take a view that I do things slightly differently, or would like to see them done slightly differently. But look, he's the leader of the country. You respect the office. But I did have a real grow for some of the things Haughey did. Some of the positive things Haughey did, yeah.
So who was the better pint man is the second part of the question.
I don't know whether Charlie Haughey drank alcohol. I never saw him in that type of a situation. Micheál Martin certainly has an occasional pint when he's on his holidays and stuff. Yeah.
Is there another part of the question? Which is the better accolade? No. Which is more important?
Which is more important, to be a better pint man or a better leader?
Pint man or a better leader?
What I'd say, it's important to be able to relax and let your hair down, but it's also important to keep things separate, you know.
It is, surely. Right, we go into the rapid fire questions, Mark. Don't even think of these, okay?
Okay.
Right, we'll start. The Dunes or the Strand?
Strand.
Railway or Kennedy's?
Railway.
Tom McSharry or Gabriel McSharry?
What? They're my cousins.
You have to choose one.
Who's your favourite?
Oh, Tom, yeah.
Mary Lou or Eileen Foster?
Mary Lou.
Football or rugby?
Rugby.
Micheál Martin or Louis Varadkar?
Micheál Martin, of course.
And who finally you think is your Sligo's greatest ever person? Tough one. Sporting or otherwise? The usual answer is Martin Ford.
Eric Ford.
Cracker. Right, lads, that's us.
That's us.
Mark, thanks a million.
Thanks a million yourselves, lads.
That was great.
Enjoyed it.
100%. Okay, I'm munching here. Welcome to complimentary mints. We're getting to me.
Thanks to the Glasshouse, actually, for the setup today.
Yes. Football, Murty.
Yeah, we're back. Good weekend and a bad weekend.
We'll start with Rovers and the bad weekend, I suppose, first. We'll finish on a high then.
Yeah, it was disappointing, just especially on the back of Shams drawing with Harps on Friday.
Yeah.
I thought definitely market improvement in the second half. But geez, Drogheda were good in the first half. Very well organised, well set up. Tim Clancy's doing a great job there. I'd imagine one. I can't believe it.
Dundalk.
Yeah.
It's the obvious one, isn't it?
Just go and pluck him. He looks like he's doing a great job. But yeah, it was one of them nights.
They're going to happen.
Yeah, and like we've said it on the show before. I just think they might just need a couple more players. Now we would have thought the break week would have been good for them, but as I said, the improvement second half. But it was like very similar to the night they lost to Derry. I just think it's one of them nights, and they played an awful lot better than that night in the second half. But just one of them nights where just things didn't click into place. And
sorry, not to change. So speaking of Tim Clancy, I've seen one of the journalists tweet today. He's doing nights to supplicant his incomes. He doesn't get enough of Drogheda, so surely he's done
mental, isn't it?
But yeah, one of the nights. But it's all about how to bounce back now, isn't it?
Big time, yeah. And they've have like this year they have bounced back every time. Like there was the time they'd lost to Derry, then drew at Pats, then that following weekend we went to Dundalk. So yeah, it's going to be a league, and it looks like I still kind of said the Shams will probably win it by a good few points, but they're not. They're just not that good a team, like, you know. And like I think it's going to be a league where, you know, like in the last few years to keep pace with like Dundalk and Shams and Cork, you would have been winning 90% of your games. I just don't think it's not going to be, it's just going to be one of them seasons where I think you'd be able to lose a few, you know.
They have Richie Towell coming in the next few weeks, don't they?
They do, yeah. It's a bit of a worry now. And
But he was his last his last season Salford he's playing nearly in the deep line
Was it deep
in front of
line?
the back
Yeah,
four,
yeah.
like, so he's that's a different player than he was when he left last played in the league.
especially because they're not scoring many goals. Like I still like,
Yeah.
I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they were all right, but you know, maybe them late goals they were getting more fluke, and it did just
Possibly.
catch up with them, you know.
But look, it's still joint top. No, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I on about? Yeah. The Shams draw got them level. Still joint top. We'll go from there. The European names were thrown
so-
out for the Conference League or possible opponents.
Yeah, literally, I'm not going to probably try and pronounce these. So there's 4 opponents we can get in the draw in the morning, so it's quite exciting. There's FH Hafnarfjordur.
Yeah.
Iceland, yeah.
Nice.
Good. Then there's a Polish team. It's not.
That's Warsaw. That's how that's pronounced, isn't it? Is it not? Is that one of the Warsaws? No.
I don't. Maybe it is.
Or Rakow or something.
Rockcloud. Anyway,
We don't want them.
No, and there's a team from the Faroe Islands, and then a Welsh team who I assume are the Plum Draw.
Bala
Bala
Town. Yeah. Twinned with Bal in County Mayo.
Exactly.
Bala-
Yeah.
Hopefully the Welsh team.
Hopefully the Welsh team. Yeah, especially because it doesn't look
Could
like.
you get over to that? I know we talked about it last week.
Yeah, sure,
Well,
you
you
can
know,
have
they're talking
ferry.
about having a common travel area. It's getting into the actual game when you're over there. I'd say. I
suppose, yeah.
They're on about having a common travel. We should have asked the MacTac.
Well, look, he's the man, yeah. Big Rovers fan. So that draw is first. It's early in the morning.
Tomorrow
isn't it?
morning, 1 o'clock. They reckon it'll be. Sorry, noon. Around noon.
Right.
around noon.
Okay. So we want to avoid the Polacks.
Definitely avoid the Polish team, and then I'd say the Iceland team would probably be strong as well. You take your shot against the Faroes or the Welsh team, I think. Do you know, if you just get through one round.
One round is the aim, isn't it? I don't know what the prize is. I presume it's lesser prize money Europa League, obviously.
Yeah,
But
so I think they're guaranteed 250 now, and it's 450 if you win one game.
really,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that much
450,
for the
yeah,
Conference
yeah.
League. Oh,
So no, the money's still it's
it's a lot for.
it's a lot of money, yeah. So hopefully now, that draws tomorrow. We'll have a better idea tomorrow now.
Well, that draw it'll take the bad edge off the weekend.
It'll take the
Like
sting
it's-
out of the results, yeah.
Exactly.
I remember the European draw. That used to be a great morning, great day out in the town. So it was. I remember the first one was a Monday morning.
You went out, did you?
Yeah, 11 o'clock Monday morning. Yeah, we had cans up in Ian Burke's apartment. Went out for the day. Ended up going to the Clarence, back to the Ark with Cookie and two players. Yeah, on an old Monday in the middle of summer. Yeah.
Glory days.
Simpler times.
Glory days, right. Junior soccer's back, Mert. Do you want to run through the results first?
Yeah. So as we mentioned last week, there was there's the 2 different groups in each of the leagues. So just in the Super League, Carby beat Ballastadair 14-1. There was a bit of an odd result. I think everything just clicked right for
Bounce the ball
Carby.
between them.
Yeah, everything went wrong for Ballastadair. Then Cartridge United 2, Arrow Harps 0. Then in Group 2, Manor bet Ahana Celtic 6-1. Ballymote beat Marvel 5-2. And Strand beat MCR 3-2 in town, I think.
Yeah.
And then in Group 1, Glenview had a walkover against Garchy, and that was 3-0. Corey Bowes bet Dromahare 6-3. And in Group 2 down there, Carrick Town beat Enniscrone 4-2, and St John's had a walkover against Clanny.
Right, okay. Manor obviously strong enough again.
Yeah,
6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. Yeah, it looks like that group. Yeah, I'd say Ahna probably missing a few of the Gaelic.
There would have been
I
as good with
imagine.
Gaelic on, yeah,
Yeah.
so you would think so.
So I know that they were probably struggling for players. I'd say Manor would be strong. I'd say MCR and Strand seemed like it was a cracker.
I was
You
only
were
there. I
down.
was there for the first half hour. MCO were kind of on top. They're 1 up when I left, so I was kind of surprised C3 too. Strand probably had, maybe a lot younger, fitter team probably. So that
Yeah.
could have seen through. And it was a warm morning now.
Yeah, because we played MCR in a friendly last Tuesday, and they gave us a bit of a shellacking. Now
Yeah.
I was very impressed with them.
There were a lot of there's some of the good older boys from.
Yeah, they're still a good team.
league, yeah.
And then I suppose in our group, like our Harps were very good for the first half against us. I thought. Second half we kind of kicked on a bit, scored a goal after maybe 60 minutes, and then got a penalty with about 10 minutes to go. But they were actually much improved from the last time we played them as well. So,
Good.
and as we said about Carby, I think
That's what we mentioned. Ross was a roving reporter out in
Ross was
Carbery,
our roving
but he
reporter.
was chased to a
Sacked
pitch.
after,
yeah.
sacked after one game on my own home turf.
14-1. What do you say
14-1.
about that, lads?
Yeah, look, I suppose these kind of things happen, but I think from the reports I've heard anyway, everything went right for Carby, and Barca are a very young team. I
Carby's
think.
let up.
They've-
Yeah.
they've a lad
Missing a
from
few players too,
Gaelic
yeah.
as well, I think, as far as I know. But we again, Barca we played Barca last year, final game of the season, and drew 1-0 with them.
Yeah.
Do you know? So they'll come back from that.
Well, the thing is, it's only not that it doesn't matter, but it's the warm-up cup. It's August when the real stuff really starts.
And it was just good to be back out watching games on a Sunday again, I think.
That's it. We're back this weekend. Who have you got this weekend?
We are playing Carberry.
And we'll get the rest of the fixtures up, maybe ourselves. On the
Yeah,
Twitter
we'll put
page.
the fixtures up, yeah. We're playing Carberry.
Well, that'll be a good one. 11 o'clock in the morning.
11 o'clock
Where?
Sunday morning. TBC.
Right. Thomas Burke's cousin.
Coliseum.
Thomas Burke Coliseum. Okay. That's it, Marty. Short and sweet.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, we'll come back with a...
He's made 5, 6, 7 yards. The great bullock of a man, this fella.
Victor Abugu. Ross, how are you?
I'm good.
How's
Adrian.
all on the rugby scene this week? You put out a very good special pod with the three boys, Stephen Kearns, Killian Gallagher and Conor O'Donnell last week.
Yeah, it was
Very
really
enjoyable.
Really good to sit down with the boys. It was actually Stephen Kearns put it up on his LinkedIn there. Said it was actually the first time the three of them together in a long time. So
Right.
it was good to catch up with them. But a bit of news come out about the boys since we did the
From all
the
of
pod.
them, really, isn't it?
All of them really. Now I think Conan's still officially waiting to announce his next move. He touched on it, but Stephen has moved over to Ealing.
Yeah.
So they're quite an ambitious club in the championship
Home
now.
with Brian Hines.
Home of Brian Hines. Yeah. So we're going to link them up. I think Johnny's in Ealing. Is it?
Johnny's is the pub, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully Stephen stays out of Johnny's and Ealing's, but nice Irish contingent over there. And Killian has announced his retirement as well. So,
It was an apt time for the podcast, to interview the boys.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good story. So best of luck to the boys in the future, and definitely going to try and get over to Ealing at some stage. That'll be nice. But Ealing hoping to get into the Premiership, so it'll be a great move for Stephen. What has happened in the world of rugby? We've appointed a new forwards coach / assistant head coach, Kieran O'Gorman from Letterkenny. So he's had a phenomenal playing career. Played with Buccaneers, won a Division 1A title with Old Belvedere. Played for Irish clubs and captain Leinster Juniors there for the last couple of years for a couple of championships. So
he's only still young enough as well.
Yeah, he's still playing. He was forward. He was player coach for Longford last year, so he's coming up to us as the forwards coach, but he's also registering as a player. So he plays a bit of open side. So he'd be a good addition, a good senior addition to the squad now, because we have a very young squad. But it's nice to get a couple of solid old heads there as well.
I'd say Longford Rugby's a school of hard knocks.
A tough town, yeah. They're pushing hard, to be fair to them now.
Right.
We don't want to follow out more people. I've already made one bloody apology this morning. I don't want to be DMing the Longford page tomorrow now.
Go ahead, what else?
What else do we have? No, we're back in the training this
very
Saturday,
good,
actually.
very
So that's going to be good to
First
see.
one back.
First one back now, this Saturday, 10 a.m. So it would be good to see the boys.
Any returning players or surprise signings that you're allowed to tell us?
No, just work in progress still.
Okay.
We've a lot of under-20s actually coming through, so that's really exciting. That some of them lads are as good as signings that you'll get. So
Yeah.
And then just also want to give a shout out to Donica Byrne, who's made the Irish under-20 squad. Yeah.
Excellent.
So fair play to Donica now, and hoping that campaign goes well with
When
him.
is that starting again?
Starting very imminently now in the next couple of weeks. So
And the Lions is coming soon as well.
the Lions is coming soon, so there'll be something to talk about at
That kind
least.
of got lost in the Euros a bit, I noticed. The
Yeah.
Lions thing.
Well, they're playing Japan in a fortnight, is it? Or
I have no idea, so
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
right. Over in Scotland now. That'll be.
Oh, is it,
that'll be a good match
Okay.
now. I think a lot of people actually from Ireland had planned to go over to it and bought tickets, but obviously due to the travel restrictions and whatnot, they can't. But that'll be a good game to look forward
we'll
to.
be keeping an eye out for Donica Byrne and the under-20 Six Nations. So,
That's it, yeah.
do you know anything about old Wesley's third team?
No, not much now, unfortunately. I wouldn't know too many people why.
No, look, it's all right. I'll ask you again about that. If that's all you got, Roscoe. We'll
Yeah,
wrap
look,
her up.
that's it now. We might just clip in a little bit from
Yep.
the interview, and if anyone wants to listen to it, it's up on the channels. So that's it from the Rugby Review this week.
Very good. Okay, we'll come back with a bit of GA.
Chance here for Jesse Sloan. Can he score? Yes! Sligo!
Okay, much like the Rovers, an up and down GA weekend. Sligo Hurlers are the hottest ticket in town at the minute.
They're back.
They're back. Well,
they're
they're
here.
up again. Another
Promotion.
promotion. That'll be a national title. They bet Tyrone at the weekend in a winner takes all, really. So finished Sligo 118, Tyrone 13 points. So big win, and it just keeps the good work that's going on. It keeps on trucking. Sorry, I left my phone there for a second. Yeah, it's a serious win, so it gives them momentum going into the championship. They have a game. I think they play Monaghan next weekend. Bit of a dead rubber, maybe. They're already up, place. So they have to
Okay,
take the
yeah,
cup,
yeah.
and then it is Offaly in 2 weeks' time. But geez, they're doing serious stuff.
Yeah, it'd be interesting now to see them play against Offaly. I know obviously Offaly
Offaly are causing havoc.
havoc.
Their second team bet Wicklow by 30 points yesterday or something like that. I don't know how strong Wicklow are, but they put out, there was only one starter from the week before that.
Okay.
So they're blazing a trail. They're back on Division 1A now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But look, it's the graduation of where the hurlers have got to deservedly, like, working up the levels, and that's why maybe the hurling format is better than the football
Just
one.
for
Like
that,
they're where they deserve to be, so they've earned their crack at Offaly. That is in Marc Mc Park. There'll be 200 at that. Might try and get up. An old helmet on me. But
Never recognise it.
no, it's going really well, and some huge performances. I'll give Gerard O'Kelly Lynch the shout. He won our dancer last
did,
week.
yeah.
We'll talk about that later. So another great performance from him again. And Kevin Banks had 3 points from the half back line. There was Joe McHugh. There was some great performances there. I was watching it. So yeah, it's a big win. They're fit. It looked a lot fitter. Sligo actually. 2 Tyrone players now cramp after 40 minutes. And they kind of Sligo went 4-5 up, and in the first half, and Tyrone hit 6 points in a row. Sligo just rallied then and just finished comfortable winners in the end. So 118 to 13 points. So good news there. So everything's on a high out there. Not so high is the footballers. They lost in Division 4 Shield yesterday to Wexford, 215 to 9 points in Portlaoise.
Not the ideal preparation for Mayo, you'd say.
No, I was not that I was disheartened, but after watching it yesterday, it was just the word. It's not this low point. Look, the game meant nothing really in a way, but I thought there was a win coming against Wexford, and the confidence booster maybe.
Probably the reason they played that game too, was it?
Well, they wouldn't have got a challenge game otherwise. Yeah, probably so. But like to lose by 12 in the end, Wexford a few big men, and that's what I think Sligo were missing. A few just big 6'3", 4 men to power. But like Tony McEntee's interview after the game yesterday now wouldn't inspire the confidence that from Mayo. He basically said the season's over. It's been a whitewash, and it made out like he even said the words, "We go back again in September." So he's not. I don't know what the plan is for Mayo. So like, what do you do? Like I know I've mentioned the 40 men the ball. I think they tried to go more defensive yesterday, and they started well again. And Sean Carbine come from half back is a serious danger, but just runners are killing us through the middle. Keelan Cawley got a bad injury as well, captain. Well, a head injury, but hopefully he'll be back for Mayo. But that's in 12 days now.
Yeah. And
Mayo, although they let Clare back into the game yesterday a bit, they were 11 points up at one stage. So that'll be an interesting day in the park. Like as we said, like years ago, you'd always, no matter if Sligo were down Division 4 or whatever, you'd always championship day in Marc Mc Park. They'd run anyone.
Yeah, give them a shot, but
I can't. What's a good result?
Keeping them 15.
Do you think? So? Yeah, I know that sounds ridiculous, but
yeah. Another thing we've said it, we have mentioned it before. Mayo can drop.
They can drop their level. I just seen yesterday. No, Clare are quite good, but they let Clare beaten, and Clare come back into back into it. But
I'd say if you stay within 10 or 15 of them, it's probably.
I know, but then like what are these 2 weeks for the players? Like I don't know. Like is Tony McEnany just saying that to the media? Maybe he is writing it off.
Take the pressure off.
Yeah, and maybe there could be some completely different game plan against Mayo. Well, there has to be something different. So maybe there's something in store there. I hope. I always live in hope. But I'm looking forward to it. Saturday week. Sligo ladies, switching quickly. They lost their National League semi-final yesterday to Kildare 214 to 1-8. I only seen very small bits of this. It's the first time they conceded a goal this year in the league, so it shows what goals do. They conceded 2 of them. But I'd seen some the Kildare lady said the scoreboard didn't do it justice. I didn't get to see the end of it. So Kildare just pulled away in the end. So it was an 8-point defeat. But look, there's huge strides he made there as well, because Kildare gave them an awful hockey in last year. But
yeah.
They're still going well.
They'd usually be strong too, wouldn't they? You know,
they would, yeah. They were actually Drumcliff player playing. Is it Siobhan O'Sullivan,
Siobhan,
ex-Sligo.
Yeah.
Club scene come back this weekend. There was a lot of action. There's so many teams. Division 4 especially. There's.
Right, what's going on here?
Division 4.
Shamrock Gales have 3 teams.
Yeah, I only seen that today. How I was going to ask you in the soccer. Arrow Hearts pulled a team. You know, Arrow Hearts had a team on Sunday morning as well.
That's right, yeah. So
it's like think of all the people. So. Yeah, Division 4 has Division 4A, Division 4B, and Division 4C. So there's loads of divisions. For the senior teams, it started off with the warm-up competitions. Used to be called the Pick and Choose with the Kieran Cup, and I might go through the results here. So the Kieran Cup, that's Division 1. It finished St. Malosh Gales 212, Killarney Mullinrina 110, Torlestrane 115, Shamrock Gales 17, St. Mary's 11 points, Eastern Harps 8 points, and Tubbercurry 117, Clara Strandhill 18. The Abbott or the Benson Cup should be next. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, the Benson Cup, that's for Division 2 teams. It's Castle Connor 9 points, Giva 17, St. Farnan's 110, Curry 214, O'Morgills 3-13, Eastleigh 2-18. That was after extra time. And I Ballymote, now, I got this scored off the Sligo GA website, was Ballymote 5-20, Drumcliff 4-20. But I have a feeling it was 20. This game went to penalties. So I feel it was 20 points apiece, whichever way it was, and maybe 5-4 on penalties.
Yeah.
But Ballymote did win on penalties. That was the first ever Sligo game to go to penalties. Maybe, I don't know. Abba Cup, so that'd be Division 3 teams. Tour de Strand, 10 points. Bunnaden, 15. Clunacool, 113. St Mary's, it'd be St Mary's junior team, St Mary's, 12 points. St Pat's, 210. St Michael's, 213. Then Division 4A. Kildare, Strandhill, 210. Eastern Harps, 312. St Fernand's, 1-8. Curry, 415. Drumcliff Ross's points, 6 points. St Malosh, 11 points. Division 4B. O'Morgills, 4 points. Enniskillen, Glass, 513. St John's, 312. Tubbercurry, 1-8. Colry, 213. Castleconnor, 2-9. Division 4C. It says the first long time since Sligo had, 5-6 divisions. Ballymote, 115. St Michael's, 318. And Shamrock Gales, third team, I presume, 214. Clunacool, 1-9. They were the results in the club action. Okay, we didn't say we wouldn't stay too long in the GA because next week is kind of our GA special in build up for the championship drubbing off me. I wasn't gonna say go. We'll take them. I'm confident again now. So
We had a bit of back and forth on Twitter there.
is your sister podcast RF in Mayo? He's serious GA content. They're Gaelic mad, like, so he's given us a bit of guff on Twitter and that. He's coming on next Monday for the big show to preview, talk it through. So he left us this sinister enough voice message, did he?
Yeah, I heard something.
Well, lads, RF here from the RF podcast. It's been a bit of back and forth between us online the last couple of weeks, a bit of needle, one would say. So looking forward now to coming up and talking about the big game. GE3 experts on sports and all things Sligo. Looking forward to it now. Good debate and can't beat a good GA argument. So see you soon, lads, and make sure to have a pint off me when I come up.
Been a needle, yeah?
Bit of needle.
Been needle in jaw, son. I know. So that's look forward to next week. Look out for our GA special, championship special. That's all at GA, lads. And we'll come back with our last bit, the dancer.
Oh, the Sligo dancer. There's a Kaylee in the tavern, come on in.
When you drive the ball down the field, so what do you do?
On the floor again.
Okay, time for this week's Sligo dancer, lads. Gerald Kelly Lynch. I thought he was going to romp home last week. He didn't in the end.
No.
Billy Brennan made a late push after a slow start, the whole of one. But Gerald Kelly Lynch was there. Our season 2, the first Sligo dancer of season 2. We'll get a pair of white fronts to you, Jared. Marc Mc Sharry's taking her last pair, so
He took 2, I think.
very snug fit. Yeah,
He looked really comfortable in them, yeah. Said he's going to wear them to the Dail this week for
he had
us.
a nice matching vest too. So that was last week's. Okay, nominate this week, lads. I'll start off. Okay.
You go.
So it was actually Daniel Lang, but listen, I'd heard of it. 3 Sligo lads were swimming across the Irish Sea, 40 kilometres altogether for the Northwest Simon Community and Irish Heart Foundation. Conor McCarrick, Damien Costello, Mark Walton, and John Monaghan. So lads, they'll get a cumulative vote for me.
Yeah, that's
the sea swimmers.
Fair
Going
play.
as far as Scotland, I believe.
Yeah, you could track them there online, I think. Last week.
Yeah. It's like I wouldn't do it. Fair play to them, 40 kilometres across the Irish Sea. So they're my nomination for this week.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. I'm going to give it to Donncha Byrne. Spoke about him earlier, making the Irish under 20 squad. So fair play to Donncha. He's my dancer.
I'm going to give it to local town character and Mayor 2025, Peter Meehan, down the blue.
Look after it.
As we said earlier, it was great to see the town buzzing the other day. And yeah, they looked after us down in the blue on Saturday night.
You look so happy in them pictures, Mert, online.
I was very
He made the show reel after what a week back there. I seen on Instagram.
Really kind of cheers vibe to it.
It's great to be a town character at 17 years of age.
Yeah, so Peter said that he's open to an invite for the podcast.
Oh,
he had plenty to talk about.
Buddy?
Yeah.
He's seen a lot in his 17 years.
We'll do a junior edition. We'll have to tone it down.
It'd be good bad for Summer Hill Special, actually.
Yeah, that's in the pipework as well. Okay, lads, we're back next week with our championship preview, Sligo versus Mayo. Up the Magpies. Right, chat you next week.
That'll do.
going back to where the beach is near, the beer is dear. There's plenty of women on the crack, walking
Here we are in the final second. The whistle is gone, and Sligo Rovers are the champions.
By the riverside, you can watch the tide as it flows.
No, I'm being told that Average Joe's does not have enough players and will be forfeiting the championship match.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Very tight and drive it clean out over the fence. Out